So it's been a long while since I've done a roasting your laptop setups, but I want to do it again. I want to give it another shot because I do have a lot of fun laughing. You know, laughing is part of life. It makes everybody feel happy. And remember, okay, for those of you who get butthurt when I make fun of these setups, the people submitting these laptop setups want me to roast their setup, okay? I'm getting their permission to do this. And look, if you enjoy this series and you get a laugh out of it, make sure to subscribe and like the video as it does help out. But yeah, welcome to episode number 6 of Roasting Your Laptops. Now, first setup comes from Varaj. He's from India, and I have no idea what's going on here because I can't tell if this is his bedroom or the kitchen. Because if you look on the left-hand side, he has a couple of pots and pans and some macaroni and some sort of bag. But on the right-hand side, he has his bed. You know, don't get me wrong, this is a very convenient way to live as you don't have to leave the same room to eat and sleep, but I'm very concerned for his life because right above his head, he has about 9,000 electrical outlets and everything is plugged into it. One day he's gonna go to sleep, the electrical outlet's gonna short circuit, it's gonna electrocute him and his nipples are gonna fly off. But his whole setup is just weird because he has a laptop, which is actually a pretty good laptop. It's the Asus ROG Strix, and then right above it, he has a monitor, which is not a bad position, but I feel like that was his security monitor he used to, you know, connect his cameras to, and he just hijacked it to use with his laptop. I have no idea what's going on with these desks. You know, the first white desk looks like he stole from some junkyard, and then he crammed it into his kitchen pantry. And why is there tape around your router? Is this some sort of new method of getting better Wi-Fi? Now, the keyboard is ancient, it's nothing special, same with the mouse, but his headphones are from a company called RG. What does that stand for? Real good? Either way, this laptop setup is definitely not real good. So this setup is interesting because it's not a laptop setup, but yet he still submitted it to be on the best laptop setups or roasting your laptop setups, but there's no setup here. He literally just took his work laptops, placed it on a desk, threw down a keyboard and a mouse and called it a day. He prays to Buddha. Every time he turns on his computer, he has a little figurine right on top of it. I respect that. But what I don't get is he invested more money in his chair than both of those laptops combined. Like, I don't understand. Like, I get it, your posture is really important, but there's good chairs you can buy for a few $100s that will give you good support for your back. But instead you have this beautiful Herman Miller, and then you have these two crappy Dell work laptops right in front of you. You could have took the time to invest the money and do a proper setup here and have a much better work from home experience. On top of that, his cable management is a mess. He just has cables hanging on the floor. There's a red cable going across the room. I don't know. I think you should pray to Buddha for a better setup. The third setup comes from a Noobhav, and he could actually make this setup look really nice, but there's just so much going on here. It just looks utterly chaotic, okay? First and foremost, his speaker setup is weird because he has two speakers stacked on top of each other on the left-hand side, which makes no sense, and then he has one big speaker on the right-hand side. I think he thinks he can get like 3.1 sound with this weird setup. On top of that, his headphones are literally on top of a kitchen faucet. I feel like he bought a kitchen faucet to put his headphones on, but most importantly, why is there an RGB strip wrapped in a circular ball hanging from the wall? It's like hanging there from a piece of Scotch tape. I feel like he thought this was a disco ball, and as soon as the lights go down, he has himself a little disco party. It looks really ghetto. And big tip, these RGB strips are supposed to be put on the back of a desk. They're supposed to be laid out flat. They roll, so you have, you know, quite a long distance to put it down. It's not supposed to hang from your wall, okay? It just looks really weird. And look, I get it, you like RGB, you have this little design on the top left-hand side. I don't know if that's a spider web or a spider's vagina, but it just looks really weird and really awkward. And then he has a bunch of clothes on top of his papers. It's just very disorganized and dusty. Like, there's a thing called a vacuum, you know? Every once in a while, go in, clean the floors, get a cloth, wipe down the dust on your desk, and I promise you, your laptop setup will look a lot cleaner. Now this setup comes from Devish, and he obviously got kicked outside of the house because this setup looks outdoors. I feel like Devish was farting too much, and his parents were like, buddy, your ass stinks. Get outside, take your stuff, don't come back in until you take a bath. And this is what he put together. He stole his ottoman or his living room center table, brought it outside with every single book in it, Then he went back into the kitchen and stole every single tablecloth his mother owns to wrap it to house his laptop, which he has set up as a shrine, which is really weird. And then the chair is wrapped in his grandmother's crochet that she created back in 1962. But the way the laptop is set up is interesting because that is not just a regular laptop stand. You know those little shelving racks you find at like Home Depot? He either stole it or he found a toaster rack and added some screws to it to hold up his laptop. And let's be honest here, there's no way this laptop is lasting that long outside, okay? Like the battery life on a Nitro 5 is pretty poor. But the one thing that caught my attention is the way that he sits. You can see his little toe sticking out. So he's like, this is how he sits when he uses his laptop. He puts one foot up like this, and then he gets the other foot like this, and this is how he sits. Now this setup comes from Nagasai, and let's be honest, this is not a laptop stand-up. This is just a laptop on a table with a bunch of books, housing it forward so you can see the screen a little bit better. And based on his first picture, there's a couple of things I noticed. One, I can see you in the laptop display, and I can tell right away you're rocking a mushroom cut from the 90s. And what is more disturbing is the nipple is missing from your laptop. Now that kind of scares me, and I always talk about the Lenovo nipple in my laptop videos and how great it is to touch, but Nagasai took it to the next level. In fact, he was touching it so much, it popped off the laptop. Now this is obviously an old laptop to use. I'm sure it's not that fast, but probably more than fine to watch the odd video on. But yeah. Oh, what the heck? Did he cut out his own mouse pad? It looks like he stole someone's yoga mat and then just like cut around it, or like got someone else's mouse pad and used it to sketch this cut so that he has his own mouse pad of his own. I gave you 10 out of 10 for creativity. Anyways, that wraps up episode number 6 of the worst laptop setups. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, maybe got a few laughs. If you're interested in submitting your own terrible laptop setup, the instructions will be in the description down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.